The Storm, Chapter 11, Lost Will. Half the sky is back to day and the other half is still night. Ember Moon says, "No!" The girl says, "Yes, keep fighting." Ember Moon says, "Cursed girl, I'll shut you up forever." She flies at the girl. Dave says, "No you don't." Ember Moon backhands him out of the way. He slides across the ground and says, "Wow, she's strong." Night Storm says, "No. Don't touch her. Be quiet. Mother will do whatever she wants." No! The storm roars. "Now you'll shut up." She brings her wing up. The sharp feathers out. Night Storm's other eye turns red, and he says, "No! I won't let you!" Ah! The rest of Night Storm turns back into Jacob. Ember Moon brings her wing down. Shh! Her eyes go wide, and she says, "What?" Her wing is up against Jacob's armor. His eyes are glowing red, and he says, "Don't touch her!" Shh! He pushes her wing off of his armor and sends her stumbling backwards. The rest of the sky turns back into day. Ember Moon says, "No! My precious knight!" Jacob points a finger at her. Light swirls around it and shoots at Ember Moon. It hits her. She screams. Ah! A bright flash goes out. It slowly clears. She's laying on the ground. Jacob says, "Mother!" He runs over to her and kneels down beside her. She looks up at him and smiles and says, "My son, you're all right. Thank goodness." Jacob hugs her and says, "You're back, Mother. You're back. Thank goodness. I'm so sorry, Mother. I let that stupid Zerde get to me." Luna says, "It's all right, Thunderstorm. You always come through in the end, no matter what happens. You are my son, and I love you no matter what." Jacob says, "Oh, Mother, I love you too." A voice says, "How touching." Jacob's eyes go wide, and he slowly looks up and says, Zerde. Zerde smiles at him and says, "Hello, Thunderstorm. Do you think that you killed me?" Jacob says, "No." He pulls Luna to her feet and says, "Get after your mother! Run! Now!" Zerde says, "No! You both are going to pay for betraying me." Jacob steps in front of Luna and says, "You won't touch her. Run, Mother, please." David says, "I better teleport her out of here." Ratchet says, "Hurry." David's wings start glowing. Zerde sends Jacob across the ground. Luna says, "Thunderstorm!" David starts to bring his hand up. Blood splatters from all over Luna. David says, "Shit! I'll kill you!" Zerde fades away. David says, "Come back, coward!" The girl says, "David." David looks and says, "Oh no." The girl is standing by Jacob, who's still lying on the ground, unmoving. Days later at the safe house, Jacob's eyes slowly open, and he says, What happened? Where is everybody?" The memory hits Jacob's head. His eyes go wide, and he says, "Mother!" He bursts out of the safe house. David points a finger to his forehead and says, "Get back in the safe house." Jacob says, "No, Mother." David says, "She's fine. Get back in the safe house." Jacob says, "If you think you can keep me here, then you must be crazy." David says, "You've clearly lost your touch since Zerde killed you twice now. So what do I have to be afraid of?" Jacob's eyes glow red. He raises a hand and puts it on David's chest and says, "I'll show you." Jacob's hand glows. David looks down at it. Jacob punches him through 20 trees and says, "That's what you get for thinking I've lost it." Michael sits out from behind a tree and says, "You have lost it. You've lost that will to fight, that will that separates you from a normal warrior, the will that renews your strength and brings you back even when everyone thinks you're dead. You're nothing but a scared, sick puppy now. You're more than scared of Zerde. You're terrified. So terrified that you can't even fight the same anymore." Jacob says, "Shut up!" He runs at Michael and punches at him. Michael dodges them and says, "You're so slow now." "What's wrong now, Jacob?" Jacob says, "Nothing!" He punches a tree but only makes a small hole. Michael says, "If you were fine, then that tree would have been blasted in half." "I know what's wrong. You're scared of the Linkar blood that's inside you." Jacob's eyes go wide. Michael says, "That's it, isn't it? You're afraid that if you give it your all, you'll lose control and destroy everything and everyone that you want to protect." David walks up and says, "How is saying that helping?" The girl walks up from behind a tree and says, "I can tell you, Jacob, that won't happen. We all know you. We've seen you be evil before. This blood inside you won't consume you because you won't let it. You're too pure-hearted and kind to fall to something so evil." Jacob says, "I hurt Dashi, and I nearly hurt you." The girl says, "But you stopped it." Michael does a signal with his hand. Fire hits Jacob from behind. Jacob says, "Ah!" Dave says, "Wow, he really is off. This'll be fun." Jacob says, "Bastards." Dave says, "Can I have him for a little bit?" Michael says, "Knock yourself out." Dave says, "Okay." He runs at Jacob. Blades come out of his hands. Jacob looks at David and says, "You got to be kidding me. He doesn't even have the strength to hurt me." Dave says, "But I do have the power." Jacob laughs and says, "You wish." David's wings and hands glow. Jacob starts laughing and his eyes go wide. Jacob says, "Shit." He goes through 40 trees. Dave says, "Repulsion spell. Works great every time." Miles says, "Now, take him!" Bravai jumps out of a tree and says, "Hello, Thunder!" Michael and the others run at him. Jacob falls to the ground and says, Miles says, "This is just pathetic. Even the Phillies could beat you up." The dark ponies land in front of Jacob. A dark pony says, "Stay away from our king!" Dave says, "Since when do you care?" Another dark pony says, "Zeraday is a bitch, and King Thunderstorm has always led us right. We may be evil, but we're not stupid, and with King Thunderstorm, we're not even evil anymore. We follow him, and no pony touches him. He is willful and strong. He is powerful and determined. He is our king." Michael says, "He was your king. Now he's just pathetic." The dark pony says, "Why you... How dare you! No one insults my king." Michael says, "I just did." A voice says, "You big bully." A girl kicks Michael across his face. Michael says, "Ow, that actually hurt. Who are... Scootaloo?" Scootaloo stands up and says, "Yeah, it's me. Insulting my dad like that. I'll show you." She punches at Michael. Michael dodges them and sends his fist into her stomach. She says, "Ah." Dave says, "Michael!" Jacob says, "My little girl." Scootaloo says, "D." He punches her. Dave says, "Michael, stop!" Michael sends another punch at Scootaloo. Scootaloo slowly opens her eyes and sees Jacob standing in front of her. She smiles and says, "Dad." Jacob has Michael's fist in his hand. He looks at Michael with blood-red glowing eyes. He squeezes Michael's hand and says, "You won't hurt my little girl." The storm roars. He punches Michael in the stomach and off his feet. Michael coughs up blood and says, "Ah." Jacob kicks Michael through 70 trees. Jacob screams, "Ah!" The storm roars. Lightning strikes down and swirls around Jacob. David says, "He's back, and we should run." Jacob says, "None of you are going anywhere. I owe all of you payback." Phew! They all take off. Jacob says, "No one escapes!" He disappears after them. End of chapter 11. Oh, and in my last video, I've got to show y'all what Night Storm looks like, so here's this picture. Thank you for listening to both 10 and also this one. Thank you for coming back, and see you next time.